Golden Guardians have to face
Oh,
TSM first and then Clutch, so they're
so
gonna lose both of theirs.
if they
Optic's gonna
win
lose both
both,
of theirs
if
most
they win
likely.
both though, they could be like that team. They're knocked out, but they're like that stealing team. You know, like that.
Oh, they could change.
They
They
could
could change
steal
the
and
whole
just
thing.
change the
If
whole
Golden
bracket.
Guardians beats TSM, then CLG goes against TSM. Well, so CLG will have to beat Optic the first day, which will most likely happen. And if Golden Guardian spoils TSM and ends up winning that game, then the CLG TSM game gets way more exciting because winner goes in and loser goes home.
Yeah,
Or
which
actually, TSM beat CLG the first time, I believe. So it would be another tiebreaker. Tiebreaker
really?
to see who goes in.
Let me take a look at that. Let me make sure.
And you could end up having a three-way tie because the other team there is Liquid,
And
and
Liquid
Liquid has to
loses
go
to
against
Cloud9, or
Liquid has to go against C9 first, and then they have to go against Optic, which they'll win. So TL should be secured. TL should be secured. TSM CLG is gonna be down to the wire.
so
Well, if
CLG.
TSM has one of the easiest games in Golden Guardians, and if they win, then they're automatically in. TLC9, however, that could go either way, and then TL would have to beat Optic, and CLG would have to beat TSM because so it could be a tiebreaker that way also. So
Yeah.
there are two possible tiebreakers, just for that fifth, sixth spot, depending on how day one goes. Because right now it's kind of shaped up for TL to lose, TSM to win, CLG to win. So now you have a two-way tie there, and day two, TL should beat Optic, and then the CLG TSM would matter for TL and CLG, depending on if TL can beat C9 or not.
So this is when Hotshot GG meets up with Reginald after the game. If that scenario was to happen, and say, "Hey, you're gonna throw this game because I'm gonna give you $2 million to throw the game."
Oh, yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
No, but it's really cool. It'd be interesting. I would definitely think it would definitely shake up the split if Golden Guardians was to win one of their two games. Basically,
Yeah,
play that playoff stealing spot. You know, like that guy just ruin all your
you know,
hopes and dreams.
the second day they could take away first place from Clutch. They could drop Clutch to fourth
Yep.
place,
Yeah. Because Hundred
depending on
Thieves.
day one. So I
Yeah,
mean,
spending on 100 Thieves and Clutch like that game. Yeah.
day one has two very, very close games with 100 Thieves and Clutch. They're both tied. C9 and TL will also be close since C9's been looking a little bit worse and TL's been looking a little bit better. FlyQuest and Echo Fox will even be interesting. Echo Fox just came off 0-2 and they've lost to Golden Guardians, so that game is weird. And the only one that I can almost say is guaranteed is CLG against Optic, but
Yeah.
we know nothing's guaranteed around here.
Nope.
So let's go through predictions real quick.
All right, moving down into the predictions.
Like I said, bunch of rough games.
It
You
is
can
rough.
see
I could
a
see
few
multiple
upsets.
winners.
There are, I think, 3 upsets possible. Optic over CLG, Golden Guardians over TSM, and FlyQuest over Echo Fox, I'd say would be the upsets. And the other games are just really, really close.
Could you think 100 Thieves could be Echo Fox on that day too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
definitely.
probably will.
All right.
Echo Fox might drop both if they get upset by FlyQuest. They'll probably go 1-1.
So yeah,
Um,
I did not do a match of the week this week.
we'll see.
Not only because I didn't have enough time, but as well because I think every match in here matters and
Yep.
deserves enough. All of them deserve enough attention
All right.
because whether it's a game deciding your fate or if you lose this game, it like there's so many things that are going off in this last week, and because the way the split is and how close everything is, a lot of stuff can be changed. So starting off with that first game, I'll let you go first. What do you think?
No, I'll let you go first.
You just want to copy. I mean,
Nah, I wouldn't do that. I haven't done that all season.
No, you haven't. I mean, I would go. You'd want to say 100 Thieves right now, mainly because they've been looking pretty good in the past couple weeks. But Clutch is a very solid team, and they've been demonstrating that despite everybody not having their back, and Mark Z for the very first time, they finally got a analyst vote that they're gonna win their game. Like it took them 8 weeks and them getting up to third place and almost tying in for second, and finally. But so it's a hard game to cast because 100 Thieves should win this if they can continue on this upward trend, whereas Clutch have demonstrated that they can win this too. Interestingly enough, though, let's see here. who won the last meeting between these teams. So 100 Thieves did win the last meeting. I think that was early on, like week 1 or week 2, maybe even 3.
Yeah. Clutch wasn't looking as good.
So I'm gonna go with Clutch. Now I think it's a logical answer, but I also think that 100 Thieves have, I don't know who they scrim against, but I don't think they've had a chance to play against the Clutch as they've gotten better on stage. And yeah, I just think Clutch developed a very good, solid strategy, especially when we saw them against Echo Fox the other week, showing off that not only can they take aggressive fights, but they also know how to be defensive and peel away and protect themselves from losing too much on over extensions. So I'm gonna take CG.
I'm gonna take Clutch also.
Okay.
100 Thieves might win. Just they look good in the new meta last week. And Clutch did drop a game, but that's why I had the power ranking set, because I think Clutch will at least win that game to move on up. And they lost to Liquid and CLG.
But Liquid's been looking really good, and CLG both. Both of those teams
Yeah.
have been looking good coming into the second half.
So
Trying to improve.
yeah, so I'll take Clutch, and then moving on, I'm going to take Echo Fox over FlyQuest. I don't see that upset happening, even though Echo Fox has been playing a lot worse, and FlyQuest beat Golden Guardians last week. So Golden Guardians beat Echo Fox, so you never know. But definitely taking Echo Fox
little
there.
circle. I'm gonna take Echo Fox as well. That takes it's. I wanted to say when I was first looking at it, I wanted to say FlyQuest, but that's more of like, oh, that'd be cool to watch.
So
more than
C9
just
against Liquid is
Very
going to
close
be a
game.
really close game.
I think I'm actually gonna vote against Cloud9 on that one. I'm gonna take TL.
I was gonna take TL also, since TL's been looking good and C9 hasn't.
But
That'll probably be a game.
It also doesn't hinder. I mean, Cloud9's gonna be in the playoffs no matter what, and if Clutch wins, I actually think, even though I want Cloud9 to be the best team, I want to see a new face.
Want it more.
Yeah, I want to see a new face at the top. So I want to see Clutch at the top. So I want to see them win. TL definitely will want it more. Cloud9 has been looking shaky, especially against teams that are as good or can put up a challenge against them.
I'll take TL as well there.
All right.
TSM Golden Guardians. I'm not going for the upset here. I always like taking the Golden Guardians, but we're going TSM for that one.
We've really mellowed out, Kevin. We used to be crazy. You know, first couple weeks we did this, we're like, oh yeah, upset. Oh, I can see this happening. Yeah, let's go ahead.
I mean,
now we're like,
I can see that happening too, but
yeah.
I think TSM will take that one with their playoff spot on the line. Golden Guardians will be trying to win, but not as hard as TSM. So TSM on that one, and then
I mean, High has always had a hard time against Bjergsen, but Bjergsen is also, I know people will say this, Bjergsen is a very solid mid laner, and across all the times High and Bjergsen have met, Bjergsen has won most of the times. But the problem where Bjergsen lacks and High is strong is in team fighting and making really aggressive calls. Bjergsen is used to laning against like Jensen, Power of Evil, like the kind of mid synergy EU kind of stable for late game. Oh, I can take this fight.
So you think High's gonna beat him? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
No, I'm saying I expect High
in team fights. No.
I expect High to get one solo kill on Bjergsen.
No, I don't see that either.
He's done it he's done it almost every game against Bjergsen, because he always takes the really like the thing like, oh, he can't win that. Like only a dumbass would do that, and then somehow he does.
So who are you taking?
I'm taking TSM.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. And then CLG over Optic. Unless you want to take the upset there.
No, I want to see CLG get into it or get into playoffs. So I definitely want to call for them.
For DraftKings for day one, CLG against Optic they have as lower. So the biggest upset they have, or the biggest advantage, is TSM over Golden Guardians, and then Fox over FlyQuest, and then CLG over Optic. I think CLG over Optic should be number one, and then Fox over Fly, TSM over Golden Guardians. So, and then the next one is C9 over TL, and then CG over 100 Thieves is the really close match. So a good lineup to do here is to take CLG, since they are, last week they had the bloodiest game. They all had the most kills over everything. Both games, they had a lot of kills, assists, a lot of points coming out of CLG, and Optic's the kind of team that can stay in it with them and get more kills in that game. So a good lineup is Probably want to make two, since the CG 100 Thieves one is so close. They're going to be a little bit less expensive, so you can make a CLG CG lineup and a CLG 100 Thieves lineup. Now, if you want to go for the other upset that we were talking about, mini upset, C9 over TL, you can take CLG and Liquid, and you'll be able to get some better TL members out of that lineup. I'd stay away from Fox because they might just roll over FlyQuest and it'd be a really fast game, but they tend to have bloody games. TSM's a little bit too expensive to try to buy some TSM members. If you did like a TSM FlyQuest lineup, if you thought FlyQuest was gonna beat TSM, probably not gonna be the best lineup because FlyQuest traditionally just hasn't scored a lot of
You mean
fantasy league
Golden
points.
Guardians? You mean or
No, FlyQuest hasn't scored a lot of points in their even in their wins. They haven't scored a lot of fantasy points. Same with Golden Guardians and TSM. So I try to stay away from those two games and pick your lineups based off of CLG, C9, CG, 100 Thieves, and TL, because all of those teams have good amount of points. Optic has not scored hard. They having Optic even in their wins have not scored a lot of fantasy points. They're very low on that, and picking them over CLG just wouldn't be the best idea. But TL can take C9 and 100 Thieves can take CG, so swapping those and just CLG being your like main go-to. I want to line up with CLG because they score a lot of points, but you can always do like a C9 100 Thieves, C9 CG, TL CG, TL 100 Thieves lineup too. And I think any of those will score quite a bit. I'd say if you're taking a CLG lineup, make sure you get Stixay because he's going to do a lot. Also, make sure you get Huhi because he's going to score a lot too. I'd say the mid and 80 carry from there are going to be your picks for that. Support pick, Biofrost had the most assists last weekend, so it wouldn't be too bad if you were going to go for Afromu. Always seems to let me down on how many points he scores. Smoothie's going to be a good pickup for support. Jensen's always a good mid if you don't take a CLG lineup and you want to do C9 lineup instead. Jungler is a little bit harder. Svenskeren has been getting a lot of assists and scoring a lot of points, but against TL might be a little bit different, and he didn't look that good in this new patch, so that might not be the greatest pickup. Medios has looked really good in the patch. He's been playing Zach a lot, and Zach doesn't die very often and
that
gets
was
quite
that was his first champion in the LCS, by the way, and it was his main
yeah.
champion for
So
ever.
very
Gosh.
good pickup there. Top lane, Licorice, Darshan are going to be good pickups for scoring some fantasy points on there. So that's for day one. A little bit difficult, but like I said, you probably want to stay away from TSM Fox, Optic, Fly, and Golden Guardians. I'd stay right around the middle, and you should be able to make a few good lineups like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on to the day two predictions, though. Starting off with that Cloud9 versus FlyQuest game. Definitely, I think we both will agree. Cloud9 definitely should win that game.
Cloud9's winning that one.
Yeah. In a reverse world, Cloud9 will win against TL, but then lose to FlyQuest somehow.
Yeah.
Not all that crazy though.
Yeah. You got Golden Guardians Clutch again. Going with Clutch. I don't see Golden Guardians dropping. I'm looking at Clutch to pick up 2 wins and get in first place, with C9 dropping 1 to TL and Echo Fox dropping 1 to 100 Thieves here, hopefully.
I will take Clutch. Clutch as well. CEG. It makes more sense. So, don't think that they can win that game.
Here's the game that you're gonna. We'll differ on this one because I believe you're gonna take CLG.
Yep.
And I'm gonna take CLG. TSM. Gonna be a very close game. Now Echo Fox 100 Thieves. Another really close one.
I'm gonna take 100 Thieves.
Oh man, I was gonna take 100 Thieves too. Hoping that take Echo Fox because right now we only differ on one, so you're not gonna get your.
You can
you're
still
not gonna
take
win.
it. You can still take
but
it.
I'm gonna take 100 Thieves. I think 100 Thieves will win. They've looked better, and same with TSM against CLG. I think Mike Young's gonna end up carrying in the new jungle role. And then you got Liquid Optic, both taking Liquid. I'm assuming.
It'd be really crazy if Optic won that game, though.
Would be pretty crazy. That's why it's not gonna happen.
I can always hope. I can always dream. I'm taking Saban Liquid as well on that game. I'm gonna say it's more important that we come out with positive or at least above 50% prediction ratings. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who wins. It doesn't matter, guys.
Yeah. So here's what we have for DraftKings for this second day. You have CG as the biggest favorite against Golden Guardians. Makes sense. TL over Optic. C9 over FlyQuest. Fox over 100 Thieves. TSM over CLG. So
I would take
good.
that CLG and TSM game. Their games have a record of always being very
They're
bloody.
those two are the closest. I'd say that'd be your secondary team to pick one to win.
Yeah.
And I'd say C9 should be way over Fly more so than TL over Optic and CG over Golden Guardians. Um, and so they're third most expensive. So you want to make a C9 TSM lineup and a C9 CLG lineup.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
you could also make a C9 100 Thieves lineup, and you'll get good members from each side on that. Um, and you can still make a Fox TSM and Fox CLG. So again, you want to stay in the middle. CG against Golden Guardians probably won't be that high scoring of a game, and TL over Optic probably not that high score of a game. C9 over FlyQuest, the only problem with that is it might not be, again, a high scoring game. They'll probably just stomp over FlyQuest. You might get 10 kills out of C9, and that's it. So Echo Fox, it might be a better lineup to do Fox TSM, Fox CLG, and then 100 Thieves CLG, 100 Thieves TSM, because both of those games should be really close and bloody. And when you get close games, sometimes it only ends up being like 4-4, and then when they end the game, it ends up being like 8-4 or something like that. So it's hard to say on those close ones. The ones that are stomps are usually like 10-2 or 12-2. They don't end up being bloody because the game doesn't get into it enough. But when people are playing really
Yeah,
safe,
you have
like
a
TSM and CLG, if they have the spot on the line, you'll probably see that game be very low scoring because nobody wants to really get
well.
into it.
It could go either
Or
way. It could go either way. It has a
it's
it
that's
has
what
a
I'm saying. It's hard to say.
it has a
That's what you're betting on,
yeah.
and it's
CLG
really the lineups that you can make to come out well
CLG
are
TSM
those
Echo
ones.
Fox 100 Thieves, although they're both very close and like you were saying, can go very low scoring because both teams are playing very protective. They have a higher possibility of blowing up in that game and getting a lot of kills than you would expect in the Cloud9 FlyQuest game, just because, like you were saying, when you're in the lead, you're kind of in the lead, and it doesn't really, unless it's like a really crazy, like really bad game from FlyQuest or from Optic, you're not going to see crazy like 20 kills.
Yeah,
Whereas with the CLG TSM game, it's like that little, like that fine thread where it's a close game or one or two team fights, boom, 15-15, or then it goes to 20-10 or something like that.
yeah, but
So
it's very possible that they just end up being like 2-2 the entire game, and then one team
that's
fight
also
wins it.
that's that little hairline
So
that you
it's
got to
rough
jump
to
over.
say.
Yep.
So if you're making your lineups, I'd say if you're taking mid laner, you're gonna want to stick with Jensen and Bjergsen for your mid. If you're making C9 a C9 or TSM lineup, your 80 carries, you're gonna want to go with Altec or Stixay.
Oh god, yeah. It takes the way Six has been playing, especially even on the first
Yeah,
day. If you're making that
with the
CLG lineup like on the first day, or yeah, take 6 day.
on the second day too.
Yeah, second day as well.
Um, for your jungler, you're gonna want Mike Young. Dardoch's been doing well, but not in this meta, so you might want to stay away from Dardoch. Get Mike Young or Rainover also has been doing
Mike
well in
Young
this.
or Medios as well. I'd say Medios
You're
would
not
be
gonna. Well,
okay. Medios might have a good game that day.
Meteos would be all right. Yeah.
He'd be like if you really just can't afford it, like you wanted something crazy in your roster, and now you can't really afford anybody
Yeah.
else. Medios I think would work.
Top lane, you're gonna want Licorice. Hanser is good in this meta again. Um, Darshan's all right. Some days all right. Supports, you're gonna want to be Smoothie again. Adrian's not looking that good in this meta either. Mithy looked a little bit better. Biofrost is looking really good. So Biofrost and Stixay is who you want for that. And that should be, like I said, your lineup should C9 Fox, TSM, CLG, 100 Thieves are the ones you're going to want to stick with. C9 is probably the guaranteed win and getting some points off of C9. The rest of them are going to be really close.
Hey, I almost forgot. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you like the content, we'll be back for more next week.